Today, we're going to go through installing 3 different types of LED pods into the bumpers of the Tundra and wire them all into the Auxbean 6-gang switch panel I installed last weekend. Coming up.
A bad day.
Yeah! Hey, my name's Drew and this is Evergreen Overland. On this channel we do reviews on camping and overland gear, we hone our outdoor cooking skills and techniques, and we showcase 4x4 and off-road vehicle modifications like the one we're going to talk about today. I love getting out and exploring all the trails and roads and offshoots around me, but this time of year when the sun goes down so early, it can be difficult to find your way if you don't have adequate light when you're out on the trail. One of the first modifications that I did to my truck before I ever started doing really videos on it was doing a retrofit of some projector headlights. Those things work really well, and they light up the area in front of me way better than my OEM headlights ever did. Above and beyond just having a really good set of headlights, a lot of people in the overland and off-road community choose to outfit their vehicles with a plethora of different lighting accessories. It's very common for people to accessorize their vehicle with light pods, little 2" by 2" LED light, all the way up to big old 50+ inch light bars that can be mounted in the grill or above your windshield, a number of different places. Hey, just go ahead if you want to pause the video right here. Comment down in the comment section below, what's your favorite brand of LED lights? A lot of bumper manufacturers actually leave cutouts or places where those type of LED aftermarket lights are meant to go. I opted to include a couple of cutouts in my bumpers so that I could install some aftermarket LED lights down the road. In the front bumper, I have 4 cutouts total so that you can do 2 different sets of light. I'm going to be installing these Squadron Sports from Baja. They're in an amber color to kind of, I think that just protects your night vision a little bit. I'm not exactly sure, but I went with the amber lens. And these are going to be my spotlights just to light up the trail ahead of me, hopefully at a little bit of a distance. Next, I opted to go through a company called Superbright LEDs and get a DOT approved floodlight to replace the floodlight that I took out when I installed the front bumper. I'm going to mount these on the outer cutouts to hopefully allow me to position them kind of farther towards ground level and out to the sides a little bit to give me a bigger field of vision. And lastly, in the rear of the bumper, I'm going to be installing these. They are another LED pod light by a company out of Australia called Korr lighting. They do, all sorts of different lighting at kind of an economical price for sure. All of these are going to get wired up into the Auxbean 6-gang switch panel that I installed last week in the truck. If you want to take a look at that video, go ahead and pause this video, go check that out. But it's just a simple, pretty economical controller for just different lighting and accessories from around your vehicle. So those are the 3 different styles and brands of lights we're going to install. Let's go ahead and start bolting them in and doing some wiring. All right, I'm going to worry about running wiring later, but right now, I'm going to take a look at these. So these are the hardcore LED lights I'm going to use for the rear. And yeah, they've got 6 LEDs in there, and they've got kind of this kind of unique mounting bracket. All right, now these do come with their own unique little plug, and I'm guessing some sort of wiring harness was supposed to be with this, or you buy it aftermarket. Not sure. I don't really have a use for that because I'm gonna wire it myself. So I'm gonna cut this, and then I will strip it back, and you'll see a positive and a negative that I'll figure out a little later. I'm gonna leave them all loosely mounted until the sun goes down so I can do the final fit and adjustment in the dark. All right, I got my cool guy hat on backwards, got my really cool light here. So I'm finished up with these 2, like I said, loosely mounted in there. I'm gonna go ahead and move to the front and start on DOT approved floodlights, I think, next. So I'll see you up front. So here are the 2 locations up front, and I just wanna say Brute Force Fab does a fantastic job of just a super solid area to mount in this elongated little channel there. So right now, this setup, these DOT approved floodlights, they actually come with pretty similar to the same hardware, and I believe this is a spare little LED in here. All right, well, you can basically test this stuff pretty easily with a little 9-volt battery. And yeah, this already has a light in there, or an LED diode, or whatever the heck they are. So this is a spare, which is cool. These things work exactly the same way as the last one. You just get your holes on your brackets lined up. And the difference in the wiring on this one is Basically, it just doesn't have it. It's got two little split ends right there. That's perfectly what I want. I would have cut off anything it had anyway. Now, out of these two, like I was saying, the idea would be that this flood is going to light up kind of ground level. It's kind of what a flood does. Also, I want it to probably be positioned slightly canted out towards the edges of the vehicle to give just a little bit more light all around the sides of you. Sweet, number 2 is installed. Got my wires hanging. Now I'm gonna get the Bajas. I'm excited about the Bajas. Definitely the best well-known. Pretty extensive in the box. They got instructions. They've got a couple of different wiring harnesses. They even have a wiring loom with a fuse in it, a 15 amp fuse, all the stuff that you need to go all the way back to putting in a little rocker panel switch on your dashboard or wherever you want to. I'm not gonna be using this. I'm going straight into the engine bay with it and going into that Auxbean switch panel. It's really cool that this comes with it. There's a little mini wiring loom where you can connect both lights together, so you don't have to worry about that. So it's really similar in what this kit comes with. Comes with your 2 brackets, comes with your 2 hardware kits. But another thing that looks pretty dang cool that it comes with, a little connector plug with all the stuff you'd need to wire into that. And what I'm thinking that's for is so that you can actually wire into this connector plug and not splice this open. I mean, you're paying for a premium brand and they've kind of given you some premium features, and I don't know, that's cool that they have that. So I'm actually gonna hopefully be able to wire these together and then connect them using the same style connector. I'll just crimp my wires inside of this. We'll be good to go. Looks good. Well, I got all my lights loosely put in there. I've got my wires just dangling. I think now it's all about wiring. Here we are under the hood, the 2 hardcore LED light pods in the back. I'm going to run all the way to the front using some 14 gauge. I've got red and a black to signify ground and power, and I'll probably throw them through a wire loom. And then the floodlights from Superbright LEDs, I have to wire those 2 things together and put a ground somewhere to the chassis. And the Baja design, I'm just gonna plug in this nice little wiring harness it comes with and wire in my positive and negative into the supplied connector for this end of this, which is super, super cool. It comes with that stuff. And then it's all gonna run to this box here, if I can get it off, and go to the coinciding relay for my switch panel on the inside. This is the relays and fuse panel here. Why don't we start off with the Baja, because that's gonna be probably the easiest. Well, luckily, I've got some wires run back here already, so I can just tie these in to where they need to go here, and then zip tie this to those existing wires to keep them good and safe. And it should do a good job and keep it completely away from the spinning of the drum on the winch. There you pretty much have it. Those are wired into the Baja lights as we speak. So next I'm going to wire the 2 floods. Well, that always takes some time, but it is kind of nice to have that all in one tight package. I really need to get a spool of dual strand wire. That would make this a lot easier, but I don't have it, and it seems like every time I do buy wire, I need it in a pinch. So I guess I got to plan better. I've run my little makeshift wiring harness all the way over. I'm gonna cut this here, hopefully leaving me enough to get up. I think it will. All right, I'm gonna wire these 2 grounds together too, and then ground it to the chassis right here. I think I have 2 of those wired up. Grab my keys and give it a little quick test. Okay, well, I got the rear lights pretty much wired up in the back section. And I just shoved those into some of this 1/4" split loom. 1/4" split loom. I'm gonna tie all these up once I've adjusted these where they're gonna go. I just took that and went all the way up the side of the frame with it. Although it's going along the same side as the exhaust, I think split loom will give it a little bit of protection. Follows some existing wiring for my dual battery system that's in the back of the truck. Pops up right there. I'm gonna go back underneath the truck now, tighten up all the split loom and just zip tie it to the existing wires that are down there. Tidy it up. All right, well, we're kind of in the home stretch now. I'm gonna give this one last zip tie on it. Sweet, well, tuck that away. I'm gonna go in and fire this up. Light at the rear. I got lights back there, lights up here. Now I'm gonna get everything cleaned up, take this puppy outside and see if I can get him adjusted the way I want him. Well, for somebody who doesn't know what the hell he's doing, I think it looks okay. Keep the floodlights low and the ambers high. So that is just regular light, ambers, fog lights. Now, honestly, my headlights are pretty bright with the projector retrofit, and a lot of this isn't gonna come through on camera, but brights and brights with amber. Definitely a significant difference. Definitely better backing up lights. Yeah, it's pretty good. That'll definitely give me a little bit of light when you get to camp late at night and maybe throwing out the habitat and all that kind of stuff. I still need to figure out a better system for camp lights for hanging around camp. I don't know if I want to permanently mount something or come up with some sort of like suction cup system using ram mount. Throw an idea down in the comments what you use for camp lighting so I can get some ideas myself. I couldn't be more stoked in finally having these things installed in my bumpers. They've been kicking around in my garage for a long time, since before the move. It really wasn't that difficult. It did take a little bit of time and all that with the wiring, but I'm pretty happy with how the wiring turned out, and it's fairly clean and all that kind of stuff, so I'm not going to feel guilty and feel like I have to go back and clean it up later. I definitely feel like I'm one of the cool kids now. I got the Baja light in the front bumper. I'm pretty happy with the Superbrightled.com DOT approved floodlights up front. They seem to be doing what they're supposed to do, throwing a nice low beam all the way across my field of vision. And the back, the hardcore lights, I mean, I got no complaints on them. I've got to use them a little bit along with all these lights and kind of probably fine tune the adjustments on angling and positioning them. But all in all, I'm super happy with all of them, and I can't wait to get out on the trail and do a little shakedown. If you like this video, please consider hitting that like button. If you want to see more of my videos, I put a video out every week. You can hit the subscribe button and mash the bell icon to be notified when those videos come out. I'll throw a link down in the description section of this video to all of the stuff I used in the video. Actually, rather than linking the wiring that I used, I will link a 14 gauge duplex wire that I found. It's for marine applications, so it'll hold up great in the vehicle. I think that's probably the better way to go, and I'm going to go ahead and order myself a spool of that because I got some wiring plans for projects in the future. I'll put links to all the lights that I use, some of the split loom wiring that I used, and just anything else I can think of. Definitely appreciate you guys clicking those links over to Amazon. It helps me out, gives me a little bit of an affiliate bump so I can buy some of the little stuff. Definitely, if you have any questions, I'm more than happy to give you some guidance or just some words of encouragement. Throw your questions down in the comments section below. I like interacting with you guys a lot, and I just appreciate every comment I get down there so I can kind of connect with you one-on-one and see who's watching my videos. Hey, if you want to follow me other places, you can also follow me over on Instagram at EvergreenOverland, as well as evergreenoverland.com. Do yourself a favor, get out there, take on a project like this for yourself, do the research, make sure you're being safe about it, but it's really not that difficult, and I'm sure you can do it if you try. Have a good day.